This is apparently what's going down in Venezuela right now. This is what's going down in Venezuela right now, so check it out.
President Donald Trump has announced that the United States intends to run Venezuela after it carried out a large-scale attack and claimed to have captured its president, Nicolas Maduro, flying him out of the country with his wife. Explosions were heard in the capital, Caracas, this morning, as well as in other Venezuelan cities. Nicolas Maduro has already been charged in New York with drugs and weapons offences. Well, at a news conference at his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida and flanked by members of his top administration team, including Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio, President Trump said the United States will be running Venezuela until such time as a safe and orderly transition can be achieved.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So,
what does that even mean? Transition? What, are they going to give it to the vice president? I don't understand what that means.
We don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let...
Who wants to take over Venezuela? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure there's people that would take opportunity like this to do that, but don't they smuggle in cocaine, not fentanyl per se?
That happened.
President Trump there at his news conference, he also said that no US service personnel were killed in that operation in Venezuela. Also said that the US is ready to stage a second and much larger attack on the country if that were necessary. Our South America correspondent Ione Wells has more details on what happened.
Handcuffed, blindfolded, captured from his country. This is Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, being sent to the US after being seized by US forces.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice.
I heard there was a lot of shooting and that he was inches from closing his safe place door, his bunker door, and that Delta went in and literally stopped him as he was trying to close the door. So he wasn't able to do that.
It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
The capture led many wondering who would now run Venezuela. And then this.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
Washington.
What the hell does that mean, dude? How are you going to set up government there and just run it? You're going to run what they already have established there. It doesn't make sense.
Says Maduro will face charges including conspiracy to commit narco-terrorism and import cocaine. His seizure was part of a huge military operation. Venezuela's capital, Caracas, woke to the sound of the city under attack. Helicopters, flames, explosions. These were strikes on the city's key military sites. Eyewitnesses woke in the early hours to the sound of booms. This marks the biggest US military intervention in the region in decades. For months, Washington has sent troops, warships and aircraft to the Caribbean. It has seized oil tankers near Venezuela and carried out dozens of strikes on alleged drug boats, killing...
Yeah, they've been killing and blowing up these boats. They don't even know they have drugs on them for the last couple months now. It's almost like we're trying to go in there and just take everything they got to make ourselves richer.
At least 110 people. Operations, it says, are part of an armed conflict against traffickers. But legal experts say it may breach the laws of war. The US has long accused Nicolás Maduro of running a criminal network, claims he denies. Just days ago, he said he was open to talks.
If they want to seriously discuss an agreement to combat drug trafficking, we're ready. If they want Venezuelan oil, is Venezuela ready for US investments? Like with Chevron, whenever, wherever, and however they want.
That's what Trump wants. He wants the oil. He wants Venezuelan oil.
What remains of Venezuela's government says it will fight, but the US wants regime change. And today, the US showed once again it will use whatever force it takes to get what it wants. Ione Wells, BBC News.
That is completely insane. So now we're at war with Venezuela. And I don't know if Russia is their ally, but if they are, then Putin is going to be pretty pissed off. Alright, this is BGZ. I'll catch you next time.